Now, my story started with a tiny little tooth abscess, a little bit of toothache on a Sunday night, and as you do, you think no more of it, you get yourself ready for work on a Monday, and you put it to the back of your mind, take a couple of painkillers, use a Bonjela, hoping it'll go away. I actually left work on the Monday. I couldn't carry on because I coughed up a little bit of blood. I managed to get an appointment the same day with my GP, who never fully examined me, just told me I had an infection, gave me bog standard antibiotics, and I was sent on my way. I put my trust into my doctor and I thought, yeah, that's fine, I've got what I need now, that's it. A few people were telling me I'd lost my colour and I wasn't looking too good. I just thought they were exaggerated, as people do. By the Wednesday of that week, there was no improvement. I was feeling more exhausted, more lethargic. I just thought, give the antibiotics a bit of a chance to work, but they weren't doing their job. My wife, Christine, tried to get me to seek further attention, but I was stubborn and I didn't want to do it. I had too much to do, I had work to go to. By the Friday of that week, I couldn't even move my head, I couldn't even turn. So if I wanted to talk to anybody, I actually had to physically turn my body. Something wasn't right, and at that point, I admitted to myself that something needed to be done. I phoned the out of hours doctors and told them my symptoms, and they asked me to come down straight away. Never told me what it could possibly be. They just told me I needed to get down and be seen. But it was something that they couldn't deal with, so I had to admit myself into A&E. Again, my stubbornness come back into play, and I thought, I'm going to be stuck here down for 8, 10, 12 hours, and I got stuff to do. But my wife, she made me go. She got me in that car, she took me down. When I got into the A&E department, I had to sit down straight away, so it felt like I was just going to pass out. The nurse apparently had asked my wife where I'd gone, and my wife told them that I'd gone to sit down, and they took one look at me, and they made sure I was seen by triage immediately. I was in triage for, what I can remember, less than 2 minutes. It took one look at me and got me straight through to Resus. And at this point, I was being hooked up to every kind of machine possible. I was having this, that and the other pumped into me. I didn't know what was going on. I remember the staff nurse in the A&E department took one look at me. I remember the word sepsis. Now, at that time, that meant absolutely nothing to me. I knew hardly anything about sepsis. I'd heard about septicemia, so I assumed it was the same thing. Obviously, we're doing a bit more research now. I found out they are different in how they affect people. But I remember that word sepsis. And I remember saying to my wife, take the boys home, because they were there as well. I sent my family home from hospital that night because I had to be transferred to Glen Fluid. And seeing their faces as they left, they didn't know what the hell was going on. And I couldn't tell them because I didn't know myself. When I did get to Glen Fluid, I was just told that I needed emergency surgery. My neck had gone 3 to 4 times the size it is now. One side of my face was lopsided. I looked like something out of a horror show. What they did in Glen Fluid was they inserted a little hole in my neck to try and drain the infection. Again, I thought it's just tooth abscess gone bad. This was on the Saturday. And I always remember because the World Cup was on, and you know, being a lad, and that's something I'm looking forward to, you know, settling down, watching the football, a few beers. And England were playing on the Saturday, and that's the game I wanted to watch. And when I finally woke up, I said, right, come on then, you know, get me back to the wall. I want to go and watch the England game. And they turned around and said England have already played. This was Monday or Tuesday. I'd been asleep. They'd kept me asleep because of the complications from the surgery. And that was hard to try and process why I lost these couple of days. One of the doctors came to see me on the Tuesday to explain about the infection. Again, it was just described as an infection. Nothing more. And I thought, oh, why all this fuss just for an infection? The operation that they did hadn't worked as well as they'd hoped. So that little drain that they put in my neck it got rid of some of the pressure, but I was told I needed to go back down to surgery. And this time, no exaggeration, they sliced my throat right across. Still got the scars to prove it. They had to proper drain the infection. It was only then I was told about sepsis, and what it was, and what it was doing to me. And when they explained what they were going to do, it really did scare me, you know. And then I was told about the possibility of a voice box, because it was that close to in my neck. Luckily, you know, as you can see today, I don't need one, thankfully. But all these scenarios that were being given to me, still couldn't take it all in. So on the Wednesday, you know, get myself ready for surgery again. And then I woke up a couple of days later again. They kept me asleep. So they had to keep me on the ventilator. Apparently they tried to take me off the machine a couple of times, but I wasn't quite catching my breath on my own. So they had to keep me on the machine. And apparently at this point, my wife, the bodies, was told that I might not make it. It was only when I came round after that I found out all this about what the doctors had told my wife and boys. It was horrible. I felt guilty for putting my family in that position, even though it was, you know, not my fault that I picked up sepsis. I felt it was my fault. Luckily, the second operation seemed to go quite well. All the infection was managed to be drained. There was no kind of recurrence of any infection. I was pumped full of, well, what they told me was strong antibiotics, you know, what they were called, I can't remember. But they seemed to be doing the trick. But I was there for 2.5 weeks in Cleifion. And, you know, Christy and the boys came and spent every day with me for 2.5 weeks. So that's, you know, it's a fair old distance there and back. But they did that, you know, without fail. And I felt guilty for putting them out, but I couldn't do anything about it. I was on baby food because I couldn't chew. I had to drink through a straw. I felt hopeless. And my wife and boys had to see this every day. And it brought me down. I just felt totally useless. And I didn't think that I'd ever kind of recover from it. No matter how many times the doctors would come around and say, oh, you're doing well, you know, well, we're happy with you, it wasn't sinking in with me. But eventually, they discharged me. But then, that was it in terms of going through it. they discharged me. I need regular checkups in Wrexham for my neck wound, and so I've been dressing changed on a daily basis to start with. And it was in September that I finally got discharged from all hospital appointments. But there was nothing offered to me of how to deal with it, but the mental side of things. When I got home, I struggled to get back into everyday normality. You know, I could sleep all night, wake up 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and within 10 minutes I could be back asleep, and I could sleep for another 4 or 5 hours, no problem. And I couldn't understand it. But as time's gone on, you know, I got stronger. And obviously I'm standing here today, I'm one of the lucky ones. But it's the mental side of things that's the biggest part of it, I think. Because you can go into hospital and you can have the operations and you can have the antibiotics and you can have the medical care, which what was given to me was absolutely excellent, you know, from staff in Wrexham A&E to doctors, nurses and healthcare professionals at Glenfluid. You know, the care they gave me was absolutely fantastic. But afterwards, it was a case of, right, get on with it now. And that was the hardest part. You know, I'd have a big dressing over my neck to cover my wound. I'd have people staring. A few people who knew me, they'd come up and they'd ask me, what's the matter, what's going on? Why are you wearing that? And I appreciate that, and I tell them. But it was all the staring that I couldn't deal with, and pointing. But now, you know, like I say, I'm standing here now and I'm able to tell my story. And I didn't think I'd be in this position 12 months ago, to be honest. Now I know kind of what to look out for with sepsis. I know what kind of symptoms to look out for and how it affected me. And in April this year, I started getting that feeling again. The colour was drained from my face. And when my wife told me that the colour was drained, this time I took notice. I thought, nah, something's not right here. I didn't feel right. I felt dizzy. I felt lightheaded. A couple of hours later, my legs felt like jelly. I just turned out to Chrissy and said, right, get me to hospital. No stubbornness this time. Just get me there. And because I'd had sepsis in the past, I knew what to look out for. Chrissy knew what to look out for as well. And apparently, so I was told, it was a stage just before it had got to sepsis. I wasn't septic in any way. Still had some kind of infection. They couldn't pinpoint where it was. But because I got it before it had gone into sepsis, the normal antibiotics and a few days in hospital, I was good to go. But that's only because I'd gone off how I felt before. And that's why I'm standing here today to kind of raise some awareness, because like I say, you medical professionals, you all do a fantastic job. A lot of you going off facts and figures. And a lot of the time that's all you can go off. But if some of what I've said today can help another person, then you know what I've said has been worthwhile. Like I say, I hear a lot of how sepsis can affect, you know, the young, the old, if you've got certain conditions. Right, I was 35 at the time. I was full-time working. You know, married, father of 2. Going about my day-to-day business as normal. So you can't just put sepsis into a bracket where it just affects a certain few. It can affect anybody. I'm proof of that. But I'm also proof that with the right care and attention, maybe not be as stubborn as what I was, but it can be beaten.